Hi, superstars. I trust and hope that we're all doing phenomenal. Now, we're going to be talking a lot about manifesting money and wealth. We're on manifestation, and really and truly, there is quite a lot of things that you can actually manifest, but we're going to be, tapping into the main things that we all want to manifest. Money and wealth is number one. So let's get into the entire lesson where we discover, what manifesting money looks like, how we have to, heighten or receiving frequency, and how we need to, just manifest wealth and become a lot more wealth conscious and break the scarcity mindset that we actually have. So let's look at the whole idea of the fact that abundance is a frequency, right? Now, on the frequency scale, you'd remember that you have those higher levels, which are high frequencies, and you've got lower levels, which are low frequencies. Abundance and gratitude are high frequencies. When you live in lack, scarcity, they're lower frequency. So your number one goal in manifesting money, manifesting wealth is abundance. Have you got an abundance mindset? Have you got a mindset knowing that, listen, my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory? I shall lack nothing. Do you have that kind of mindset that you really wholeheartedly believe that there is no lack, but there is abundance that's floating all around you? Because that's what you need to manifest money and wealth, right? You have to be a match to financial expansion. You have to see it with the vision, and then, of course, you can begin to manifest it even easier. So, this is where we develop what we call a wealth consciousness, because really our mindset has to be intact with our emotional state so that abundance can actually come into play. Right? Your mindset has to be at a place where you believe wholeheartedly that, listen, wealth is within my reach. I've got wealth. I've locked that in. Your belief system has to be that this is normal for me. Wealth is within my reach, and this is not hard for me to achieve. Right? The ability to receive without guilt is necessary when it comes on to wealth consciousness, because a lot of times people will call you and they'll say, okay, you know, they're giving you something and you're like, no, because you don't understand how to receive. All right. So just say thank you and actually receive. The gift of receiving is beautiful, right? And you have to understand that seeing money as energy is very important. There is no lack. It's energy. And if you can raise your energy, you can become one with money, right? The keys here, your bank balance reflects here before it shows on the actual app that you own, right? That means your vision has to be clear and you should see it before it even hits the account, right? Because your bank balance is literally a reflection of, your identity, of the whole perspective that you have around wealth. So once you begin to shift that, your bank balance begins to shift as well. So the frequency of receiving. Receiving is powerful. Receiving is absolutely phenomenal. We should all be receiving, right? But to receive more, you must be in a place where you feel safe for receiving. Don't feel as if you're unworthy to receive. Feel worthy to receive, right? Expect money to flow. Expect cash flow to be coming from many different angles on a daily basis. So when it comes, it's by no surprise, right? Release the anxiety when it comes on to money. Release the stress, the control, or the attachment. Just let it go and understand that if you're at the right frequency, the money will begin to find you. Right? So shift from survival mode and start thinking about expansion, growing. Think about the whole idea of the large sum of money that you literally have right in front of you. It all starts right here. And if you can begin to think it, then of course you begin to give thanks for it. And of course, it will begin to find its way to you. right? So the subconscious rule right here is that you only receive what you feel worthy of. Feel worthy of it because you're deserving of it. And when you're in a place where you feel deserving of it, it will begin to flow because guess what? You're in alignment. Now, a lot of times we have this thing that we say, I am broke, I can't afford it. Number one, don't do that, right? You have to be in a place where you understand that you have to speak that you're wealthy. Even if your bank balance or your purse, your wallet doesn't reflect it, begin to speak that you are wealthy. And there's so much money floating in your purse, in your bag, wherever. There's so much money around you. You're now beginning to think, okay, who am I going to help with this? Right? So it's about switching the programming. I know it may look tough right now, but it's because you've been living in lack. It's because you've been living in, oh my God, I just need to pay the bills. Right? So the more you get out of that rhythm and you begin to switch the words up and say other things, right? You'll begin to see that there is another level that's there. Right? There are so many scarcity beliefs that you could literally have where you begin to say money is hard to come by. I always lose money. I have struggled to earn. Others have more than me. You know, what if my money runs out? That's scarcity mindset, right? They literally come from maybe your parents, it comes from childhood, you know, it comes from culture too, as well as other family members and even lived experiences. So I get it. But at the end of the day, if you're living in scarcity, your frequency is going to be low. So it doesn't matter if your bank balance is currently reflecting low, you know, switch the programming and raise the bar with your thinking capacity and your action mentality so that you begin to flow with the energy of money. All right. So ideally speaking, we have to rewire, you know, our identity when it comes on to wealth. And this is one of the fundamental things that we have to believe is that money is safe for us. Money is safe in your hands. You are the individual who multiplies money effectively. You are the individual who receives money. You are the individual who lives in abundance. You are the individual who creates value and in turn receive cash flow. You are the individual who's got abundance at their baseline. So gratitude above all things, because you know that once you begin to have abundance, you've got to be grateful. Right? So one of the key things that I want you to understand is all about rewiring your wealth identity. Start speaking positive affirmations about your wealth identity. Money is in love with you and it stays with you, right? Money loves your company, and whenever it comes, it lasts, right? So you begin to say these things and start believing them, start working towards all the lovely things, you'll see them fall in place. But it has to be a system where you understand that you have to put it into practice, right? So one of the fundamental things that, you know, I'm going to give you here is the wealth expansion practice, where you do what we call a money frequency activation, a three-step system where we have appreciation. We begin to name 5 things money has already allowed you to experience. So that's appreciation. Future frequency, when you begin to visualize a financially expanded version of you, you see that individual that's debt-free. You see that individual that's got over £1 million or $1 million US in their, you know, bank account. You begin to see that individual who's got so much in, you know, investment on the stock market that's producing cash flow, right? You begin to see that which your heart desires, right? And then, of course, action, where you do one small action that aligns with abundance. It could be, you know, investing £20 for the month. It could be doing anything that helps you to move the needle in your favor, right? So you have to do the work. So first, we're very appreciative of all the things that money has already allowed us to do or achieve. Then we begin to look at our frequency of the future, and we raise the bar and we begin to visualize and see the desired version of us, see the entire embodiment of that future version of you. And then, of course, you will do the work. Yeah, fundamentally, that's your wealth expansion practice. Now, I want you to do this activity, all right? This is literally where we're going to be doing a little bit of journaling, and you're going to answer these 4 fundamental questions in your journal. What is my biggest money fear? Be honest with yourself. What is that big money fear that you hold? Where did it come from? What truth can I replace it with, right? What identity would I need to adopt to earn what I want? And you're just going to answer them from, a place of honesty. Let's say I'd start off with, what is my biggest money fear? Is that money is hard to come by. I have to work extremely hard for money. Why do I believe that? Where did it come from? It came from my parents, because they always say you've got to work hard, because if you don't work hard, you ain't gonna have no money. All right. And then what truth can I replace it with? Money is so easy to come by. Money is so easy to come by, and it loves my company. It resides with me like every single day. All right. So I've replaced it with a truth, and then what identity would I need to adopt to earn what I want? The identity that I need to adopt would be an individual who stays in what we call abundance and gratitude mindset, giving those gratitude affirmations, stating that I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then doing one action, backing up that which the heart desires, So something as quick and easy as that. I want you to just begin to write, answer these questions and do them wholeheartedly, knowing that this is where you tap into you and understand what's really happening so that you're able to actually maximize on your growth. Right? So this activity is the end of this lesson. I'll see you in the next tutorial.